Why Gen Z will never own anything. We were kind of talking about this earlier today. We've been doing video over video like this last like marathon, and let me tell you something. We briefly talked about like I feel like this generation, I guess Gen Z, but just in general, I feel like the next generation's coming up. It's gonna literally be just like renting and never owning anything. You know, gone are the days of owning your own house. Gone are the days of owning anything. Hell, you can't even own like games nowadays. Everything's digital. I mean, we actually just briefly went over like the whole Nintendo Switch thing and the games and stuff, and it feels like they're hiking up the prices just for anything physical. I am not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that. Chat, I'm assuming you're the same way. I mean, don't get me wrong. As a streamer, I feel like being able to have, I guess, like, you know, a library of stuff where I don't have to like take over my room, because I do have a small room. Unfortunately, I do have a small room. However, if I did have a bigger space, I would love to be able to have a bunch of physical stuff. I think that'd be great. Like, you know, I grew up with the generation with like Pokemon. Pokemon, like you would have every little cartridge, and they used to be so cool. Like I still remember my favorite cartridge was Crystal. It was Crystal. I loved Crystal. I really do. I think it looked great, and actually, if I remember correctly, it was the first Pokemon game where you could play as a girl. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, I don't have to play as a character that has a dick now. This is great. Much success. Plus, like I said, like the cartridge was like, I think it was like light blue and sparkly. It was like light blue and sparkly. This I'm pretty sure. First gen, you can, wait, no, you couldn't do that in the first generation. Wait, could you? No. The first generation, wait. Could you have done that in the first generation? I don't remember. Gen was only in red. Wait, but are we talking about the remakes, or are we talking... Okay, chat, listen, this is a react for something completely different. Lock it in.
Subscription models were first started as a good thing and date back to the 17th century. They were meant to give an alternative to people who couldn't afford something at the time. In the 1860s...
Yeah, I love... Okay, I'm trying to think. So, like, I remember specifically, I think one of my very first, like, subscriptions was WoW. WoW was probably one of my very first ones. And I think any of my nerds out there, I'm pretty sure you guys are probably feel the same way. It was like WoW for me. And then, of course, it started going to like Netflix and like everything else. And you know what? Here's the thing. I like it because subscriptions mean, like, especially for like the things that I want, makes it so I don't have to really think about it. I don't have to keep giving like money over and over and over. Well, okay, well, I am giving money, but I don't have to think about it. However, I think that's how they get you. That's how they get you. It's terrible. It's terrible. And, you know, I'm sure even to this day, I'm probably paying for something that I'm not even using. I'm probably paying for something I'm not even fucking using. Also, Belduco, thank you so much for the 12 months. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And also the 3 months in advance. Thank you. Save your money.
UK officially became a subscription service.
Also, can you guys hear this? I think it might be a little bit louder.
Access a ton of content without having to buy the actual media every time. And people went in at the time with the thought of, wow, so much stuff. This is such a great price.
And that's how I felt too. What started ruining it was the saturation. Not only that, but like, I remember when Netflix came out, pretty much everything and the mum was on this. There was rarely any other service that was like it. I think maybe like Hulu, I think. But now there's like 5 different kinds. There's like 5 different kind of like subscriptions, and then there's like mini ones. And I think like Hulu has it where you can have one version. Well, actually, I think Netflix is actually the same way. You're going to have like one where like there's ads and one where there's not. It's like a whole bunch of bullshit. To me personally, it's a whole bunch of bullshit. I like it when it's all bundled together. I'm just saying. It just makes it like easier for me. I like the simplicity. And that's what these things were supposed to be. Simplicity. And now I feel like it's not as much. Not only that, but being able to get out of something like this, you have to like arm and a leg. They're going to like twist it. They're going to give you those Indian burns. Because you're like, God, I got to call you guys and I got to fucking deal with your bullshit. And then because it's not as easy as it used to be to even cancel these things. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm telling you, we live in a shitty time.
By 5% and remove every show I like. Oh wait, yeah. There's honestly one post that.
Yeah, I hate that they get rid of shows. I hate that they get rid of fucking shows.
Video, and you may have probably already heard about it. DoorDash announces buy now, pay later partnership with Klarna. Like, how can you say
I forgot that's a thing. Wait, hold on. I thought that was a joke. Wait, Can you do 5 easy payments to get fucking food? I am a DoorDash queen. Let me tell you. Mama's always working. I am always working. Always working. So me and DoorDash are like best friends when I'm not, cooking for the family and whatnot. But, it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, hey, I'm kind of just used to that, but I didn't know that that was a thing. Is that really actually like a legitimate thing? Talk to me, because let me tell you, that just doesn't even sound correct. That doesn't even sound correct. My down payment for my pizza, for my pineapple pizza. My down payment for my pineapple pizza with 5 easy payments. I thought that was fake. I thought that was fake.
Imagine getting your car repoed because you were a year late on that Chipotle burrito order you bought one.
All right, hear me out though. I love Chipotle. Don't be talking shit about my Chipotle. I want to order some of that now. I want to order some fucking Chipotle after this react.
It looks like more and more that not only have we turned into a subscription-based society, but we're turning into a buy now and pay later society. Soon enough,
exactly.
It's gonna have a Klarna tag on it, and you can buy now, pay later with it. Need to get on the subway but don't have $1? 4 easy payments of 25 cents each month. Need an Uber to drop you off somewhere but don't got the money? 4 easy payments of $5 a month. And take a wild guess at the generation that uses the subscription model the most.
The reason why also that, like, again, it's supposed to be, having these services is supposed to make it so it's like, makes life easier. You're like, hey, I can just go ahead and do this. I don't have to have like actual money on me. But here's the thing, is that I feel like, I was talking about this earlier, but like, I feel like we're in a time now where they don't want us to own anything. Can't own a house because everything is so fucking expensive, but they want you to rent. And they always seem to like, I always feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck and or just like getting put in debt. Like hell, like I was in debt for a long time, and getting prepared for a lot of this, I had to go and do a couple things to make sure that like everything was running smooth. So like, there's always like this, I feel like anytime you want something, anytime you want a project, anytime you want like to advance inside of life, you can't. Like, I don't know. Like I have 2 jobs. I'm counting this as like a job. Really, this is more for a hobby. But like point I'm trying to make is that like, just to get by, for me and my family, it's like you have to do all this extra shit. Because if not, like, it's just hard. And I feel like life now, it's like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, is you can get anything. But just know you're going to be in debt. Just know you're going to be in fucking debt.
According to stats, 93% of Gen Z have at least one subscription service. And we're the biggest drivers of this whole subscription economy. And I'm calling it now. Give it a couple of years and we'll be the biggest drivers in the buy now, pay later model. I think at the end of Gen Z's run, just like how every generation has certain things they're known for, we'll be known as the generation that own nothing. Before the subscription model dominates,
exactly. Owning nothing. And I like my shit. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I have too much shit. And a lot of times it goes inside of a box, but I want that option. I want to be like, hey, I can buy this. Not like, hey, you can never own this. I hate that. Like, actually, you can see it a lot with like editing programs, or like I'm trying to remember exactly when. I don't actually edit my own stuff, especially nowadays. But like, I think back in the day, you used to be able to buy like I remember like Sony Vegas, or what else is there? Was it like Photoshop and shit? All of that stuff you used to be able to buy, just like boom, you have it, boom, done. But now you have to pay for it like monthly, yearly. I hate that. To me personally, that would sway me away from editing. Just overall, I think it's so dumb. Oh, Adobe, that's what it is. Listen, Adobe is its own little monster. It's terrible. But yeah, that's like the climate that we're in. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, when did we get here? When is too much of I guess the luxury of not having to like do anything, such as like getting our own food for DoorDash, or, just in general, like not having to go and buy like movies and stuff. When did that become like such a big thing? I don't even know. But now I hate it because, like, of course, companies gotta find a way to make it just that much more shittier. They're like, hey, I know this was a really cool thing, but I'm just gonna take that away from you now. I'm gonna make you like have to do this, and to top all it off, I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna make it so much worse. I'm telling you, that's the climate we live in.
Up to actually buy things. If it was music,
So
you went
Microsoft
to a
Office
record
subscriptions
store and bought the
just let
music
you
of
own
whoever
your
you
own
wanted
work.
to.
Oh, really?
If it was games, you went to the game
Well,
store
not
and
everything's
bought
like
whatever
that, you
games
know.
wanted.
Especially
And a
the
lot of
Adobe.
times
I remember
feel
a
like
video
Gen Z
that I was
forgets
watching here.
that
Sorry. There's a video that I was watching a while back that was talking about how scummy of a Sorry. Okay. Wait. I should say this. We're on day 7 of our marathon streaming, so I'm gonna probably mumble a little bit. And also I lost my voice a little bit, so bear with me. But anyway, I remember watching a video about Adobe and how bad they are. Like, and the fact that like it takes like literally like chopping your arm and leg off just to cancel. Like, don't ever sign up for that shit unless you use that shit a lot. It just seems like a waste to me, and they always seem to find a way to just keep you in there. It's terrible. It really is.
If it was music, you went to a record store and bought the music
I know.
of whoever you wanted
Exactly.
to.
They're breaking laws. They're breaking laws for it.
Games you wanted. And a lot of times I feel like Gen Z forgets that we grew up in these times before everyone switched. Like, everyone got their own childhood game collection growing up.
I miss
and
it.
it's sad to know after the
I miss it.
PlayStation 4 and Xbox One release, everyone slowly had their collection stacking up less and less with the new
I still have all of my Sega Dreamcast games. I still have a good chunk of my like PlayStation 4 games. I still have okay, so one of my favorite game covers, because again, some of these game covers, they used to be like all out. I remember my Persona 5 one. My Persona 5 one is so nice. It has like the cool cover and everything. I'm like, oh, it's so neat. And hell, I even have wanna know what's funny is that I bought Kingdom Hearts 3, never actually played it. I remember I bought it. I was wanting to like actually play it, never did, but the cover and all like everything just looks good. It looks nice. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but when you grab like an old game that maybe you played a while back, but like, you know, you grab it off the shelf or maybe your CD case, because that's where all my Dreamcast games are. It's like they're like, it's like the CD case, like an old one. It's like this black like CD case. It's like it's like old and beat up, but like that's where my shit is. I should probably put it in somewhere like nicer. But anyway, and you go and grab that case and it just gives you that nostalgia. Like, damn, I remember when I played this the first time. And then pop it inside the system. I don't know. Having something physical really does, at least for me personally, feel like I'm actually owning something. Especially nowadays when I feel like you don't own anything. You have no control. Everyone else has everything. They have pretty much your life. I like to say, like, hey, I got something that's mine.
I remember the
with my money.
Of going to my homie's house and seeing what type of games they had in their collections. And I understand why people wouldn't.
That's me in the morning. That is literally me right now. It's like I'm here, but my body has been like, bitch, if you dance one more time, I swear to God. I swear to God. I guess I'm still gonna probably do it.
The feeling of getting that game and that saran wrap and the beautiful packaging, it was just better. And I never was one of the people that waited in line at midnight.
Do you remember back in the day? Do you remember back in the? Sorry, I seen him like unwrapping like a controller and like a system and stuff. I remember way back when I got an N64. Oh, actually, excuse me, I didn't. My little brother did. Because I wasn't allowed to play games. But he got an M64 that we both played. We actually played Pokemon Stadium first day. And it was so cool. It was during Christmas time. And oh my God, let me tell you, that is such a great feeling. Such a great fucking feeling. Hell, I still remember back in the day when like, because we played a lot of handheld games. And I remember one of my Christmases, I got the new edition. What was it? It was like Fire Red and Leaf Green. It was so much fun. No, actually, it was Ruby and Sapphire. Now, those were games. Generation 3, still the best. I'm just saying. Don't at me.
But seeing the old videos of people waiting for the new Call of Duty to drop or anything is so nostalgic.
Do people actually... I'm choking on a corn nut. One second. See, this is going to be a great react. This is going super smooth. Maybe we should have done reacts after the marathon, but fuck it. We're here. We're live. Fuck it. We're here and we're live, even though I think this hand is breaking. You love to see it, baby. You love to fucking see it. Anyway. I forgot what I was trying to say. Generation 3 is the best. Hands fucking down.
People's first worries with digital content taking over for the next generations was that because you didn't physically own it, they could take it at any moment and there's nothing you could do. But everyone thought surely that would never happen. And that's too preposterous. How dare they? Until Sony tried it in 2023. Sony in 2023 announced.
Listen, I thought about it when I still have that fucking corn nut in my fucking throat. And don't say anything about the nuts, Chad. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, what I was trying to say, god fucking damn it. Stop it. Actually, I forgot what I was saying because I was choking.
And there's nothing you could do. But everyone thought surely that.
Oh, I remember. I actually stopped really spending a lot of money, like when it comes to like online games and stuff, because here's the thing. I have spent a good chunk of fucking money for WoW and League, and I think to myself this. Hold on, I had to fix myself. Sorry about that. I was thinking to myself like, hey, they can end this at any time, at any fucking time, and I would just be out of money, just gone. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's cool. like thinking about that pisses me off. And yeah, I spent $100 on Marvel Rivals. However, Emma Frost is, I mean, like, how can you not get Emma Frost? I'm just saying. Sometimes you gotta do it just to do it, Chad. I think my model's broken right now. Have you noticed? All right, this is gonna be the most fucked up, like, react ever. Most fucked up react, like, ever. Just saying. If you're not already over here, this is our 7th day of our marathon. It goes off to 8, so pretty much you're at the last little bit of it. So if you're seeing this video later, then you know what we were doing. Also, by the way, of course I fucking like move whenever I'm doing this T-pose. By the way, I feel like I'm like a minion mom. I feel like my humor is this, pretty much. Just fucked up shit. Just fucked up, goofy, cringy shit. That's me, baby. I think that's why people come over here and watch.
How dare they? Until Sony tried it in 2023. Sony in 2023 announced it was going to remove Discovery Channel content for every PlayStation user's library because their licensing agreement.
That was a thing?
And the most interesting
fact
of this entire thing I learned.
I didn't know that.
Ghostbusters has a game. I thought the Discovery Channel was just lines fighting it. I didn't know they had something like that in their bag. And when they
listen, Discovery Channel does a bunch of shit. Wait, hold on. Actually, wait a minute. Wait. Chat. I was wondering, isn't Discovery Channel where like the alien stuff is? Where like what the fuck was that show called? I can't remember. What was it called? God, it's gonna bother me now. It's gonna bother me now. No? Oh, Ancient Aliens. That's what I was thinking. Oh, that's the History Channel. History Channel, Discovery Channel, they sound pretty much the same to me. It's like the same thing.
People bought and not give them a refund. They announced a couple weeks after that they're reversing the decision and managed to update the licensing arrangements.
By the way, I hope that Nintendo does that with their pricing. You know they're not, but like, you know, a girl can dream. You know, they thought that Silk Song would never come out, and guess what? It's coming out in 2025. Unless they push that shit out too. I need to play Hollow Knight first if I'm gonna play that. I'm just saying.
They did so fast, then why the didn't they do that in the first place? It's looking like Sony
You know why. Listen, companies want to see what they can get away with. They want to see what they can get away with. It's just that simple. They know they're like, hey, I'm going to see if I'm going to try this new thing. Like, for instance, like loot boxes, when that became a thing. I think one of the first game companies to do that, I think, was actually... Oh, actually, I think it was Dead Space 3. Wasn't it Dead Space 3? By the way, not a great game. Like, whatsoever. I was about to say, I want to say that was one of the first ones that were like trying to test it out, which by the way, I think that was EA. Oh yeah, that's right. It was EA because I forgot that they were owned by them then. Of course it's EA. It's always fucking EA. EA is fucking trash, and you know it.
To see what they could get away with at first. And I think things like this is a big part, and when people talk about Gen Z is the generation that will never own anything. No matter how annoying getting a physical
I felt that.
Will get,
I'm still trying to get a house, and I have 2 jobs.
If Sony could do something like this potentially, then imagine all the major gaming storefronts. They probably got it written in the middle of the 1,000-page term and conditions that they could do it. Which is why I personally...
Exactly. And you know what? Here's the thing. You want to know what we need to do, Chad? We need to get the old fucks that are in... Okay, so the people that make our laws You know, they're like 80-year-old out of touch people. They know nothing about the internet. I still think that they think that we're on fucking dial-up. They don't know what the fuck's going on. We need to actually have somebody that knows what's going on. That's what's going on. How predatory some of this shit is, so that they can be in office. They can, they can be, what is it like Supreme Court's people? You know what I'm talking about, chat. Listen, I've been up for 7 days. We need people that are making our laws, somebody that understands what's going on. Did you say kind of like a Joe Biden? Kind of. Exactly. We don't need that shit no more. Because, like, if you think about it, they're all on their deathbeds. They're all on their deathbeds. They're like 80, 90 years old, still alive somehow. Somehow. And they're just like, yeah, sure. Like, we can just add this law and it'll be fine. I'm like, you don't even know what that even means. And now there's loot boxes. Well, actually, it's not even loot box, like season passes now. And then if you're a fucking weeb, then you guys go and buy like 5-star characters and stuff like that. So, like, you know, the microtransaction market right now is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Games right now are seeing a little bit of a rough patch.
Them putting in small text that they could take my soul in any moment if I disobey them. Another reason on why people say most of Gen Z will never own anything is housing, and the fact that most of Gen Z will never own a
I'm
house.
not even, listen, I am not even Gen Z. I'm a millennial, barely, but like I'm a millennial. And I still can't own that shit. After my divorce, like I've been trying to save up. Listen, mama be working. I be working, OT and everything. They said, nah, bitch. Listen, if you want a house, you better have 10 fucking roommates. You better have 10 fucking roommates. Also, hey Matt, how you doing?
Start the process.
You better have 10 roommates.
Like, our generation's already having a hard time trying to get an apartment because nowadays they be requiring you to make 3x the income just to rent it. Just worry.
Exactly. Preach.
At the end of the month or not,
Listen. Preach your shit. Preach that shit.
A good salary, like $6,000 a month. You think something like $3,000 a month is good because that's half your income and it's a nice place. Then they come back saying you got to make at least $9,000. How the f
exactly. That is like the equivalent, and this is why I always say that college is a fucking scam. Now, clearly, you need college for some jobs. I understand. I prefer trade school for certain things, and a lot of times you get the experience too. Just saying, little heads up for anyone that needs some work. But like that is the equivalent of like, hey, I'm going to college and I need this job. It's like, oh, but you need experience. But how the fuck am I supposed to have experience if, like, you know, like I'm trying to do that right now? But what they want you to do is unpaid interns for God knows how long. And it's just like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to live? Especially if, like, a lot of the times with these unpaid interns, it's like literally like a whole workday for nothing. Like, it's bullshit. It's some bullshit. That's why I always say college is a scam. I'd say join the military or go ahead and, like, what is it? I literally just said it. Trade school. Trade school is a fuck ton cheaper, and a lot of times you can get a job pretty fucking quickly. You know, be an electrician, a plumber, HVAC. Like, they pay pretty good. I'm just saying, listen. We run a small family HVAC shop, so, like, trust me, I know. Not saying we're making a fuck ton of money, but it's enough. It's enough to get you by. It's enough to get you by.
Money, I'm gonna have to go on the streets of Gotham as Batman to do that.
Exactly. I'm gonna start stealing shit.
Really all these massive investment companies have bought all the houses in America,
which is some bullshit.
Not just in America too. They do it in other countries, and they put the
and you want to know something?
They want to.
And you want to know something? It's shit like this, and we talked about this with like games and stuff. Is when they have no competition. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And it's so irritating. And another thing is that, like, there's no law with that. This is pretty much the equivalent of scalpers. Literally equivalent of fucking scalpers. Like, I'm gonna buy all of these. They're like, fuck you guys. Like, that is some bullshit and you know it. Like, is there a law with that? I wouldn't fucking know because I can't own a fucking house because it's too goddamn expensive. It's too damn expensive. Also, Six, thank you so much for the beds. Do you own your home? Well, like, I'm with my mom at, like, the moment, but, like, I lost a lot of money after I was done with my divorce and stuff like that, because, you know, like, split, and then the kids and stuff like that, so I've been building a lot up ever since then, working OT, just, like, you know, I'm still working. I might stream, but streaming's more for fun. Streaming's for fun and also pays for stuff like this and stuff like that, but, like, you know, gotta pay them bills. Gotta feed my family. They like to eat.
Because they could do whatever they want. They own the market, which is why rentals are such a common thing now.
And that man was getting it.
You darn god kids, always complaining and never working. Just work harder and you can buy a house like me when I was 18.
I hate that mentality because, like, again, like, I work like... Sorry, I'm trying to fix my arm, so if you see me, like... listen, this react... For any of my YouTube watchers, for anyone in advance, I am so sorry. Like I said, 7 days of it, like, everything's been breaking, so you're just gonna have to deal with me. But yeah, I hate that mentality because I've seen so many people working their fucking ass off. Working their fucking ass off. I'm right there with you. Still struggling. Still fucking struggling. I ain't gonna let life win, but at the same time, though, like... Why does it got to be like that? Back in the day, you can work like literally, there's a reason why it would be a 9 to 5. That's why they called it that, because you used to be able to live off that. Now you can't live off that. You live like paycheck to paycheck. You live paycheck to paycheck, and that's some bullshit. I fucking hate that shit. And then people say, hey, well, get your education and stuff, and like, but it's too expensive. Then you go for a loan. But then you have to pay for that forever. Like, I remember my ex-wife was, she was going for her master's degree. And like, what was that like? If I remember correctly, that's like $80K. So bitch, you in debt for life. And the worst part is she didn't even get a chance to use the goddamn thing. She didn't really even get a chance to use it. Having a master's degree and just terrible. It's a minimum wage used to be minimum. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I can't read. Minimum needed to live with your parent and one child. I know, and you want to know something? So, like, there's another video I'm going to go over, and hopefully that one's not as, like, scuffed, but that's one reason why I think a lot of people don't want to have families. They don't want to have kids, they don't want to have families, because you can't afford it. You can't afford it. Like, it's so funny to me, but, like, it's true. It's true. It's hard to even think about a family whenever you can't even afford to even feed yourself or to, like, handle your own shit. You know, it's just, it's dumb things like that, so whenever I see, like... any boomer saying shit like that, I'm like, listen, you don't get it. Not to mention, like, you know, some people say like, hey, Zoomers are pretty lazy. I disagree. There are people that are lazy. Like, you know, actually, I think millennials, my generation, probably the more lazy ones. I'm sorry. I have to call it out. Either that or alcoholics or they're alcoholics. That's what I have noticed. But yes, there are lazy Gen Z, like, you know, very privileged, right? There are people like that. But like being in this sphere, I have seen people, like, I've seen some artists that already have, like, a full career set up, like they're great artists, they already have, like, a whole little business, and they're 18, You know what I was thinking of when I was 18? I was, like, leaving the house for the military. Leaving the house for the fucking military, and just, like, praying I didn't die. That was about it. I didn't have that big-ass plan, but some people have it already done, and they've already been working on it since they were, like, 15. So, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. It really is.
Like, buddy, you bought a house for 2 chopsticks and a penny. Shut up. It took you 6 months of working at McDonald's to put a down payment on that house. It's crazy to me how the older generation still doesn't understand how much of a struggle it is to grow up in this time.
Preach your shit.
Preach
your shit. You said, shut the fuck up. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. Oh, there's Joe.
The older they get, the less
Sleepy
and less
Joe.
Listen, and a lot of Gen Z will 100% follow what the older generation says, which I think is a big problem for us.
Big time.
The older generation is right on certain things, but other things, not so much. Like,
I agree.
For example, there are a lot of lazy that just sit down and scroll on TikTok all day and just goon the OF girls and don't even try to find a
promise
job.
I haven't seen this yet. I promise I haven't seen this yet. But chat, hear me out. Like, there's always going to be people like this. Like, I've seen a lot with my cousins, and you know what a lot of them used to do? Well, used to, because they're in jail now. They used to sell drugs, and that's where they went, because, like, there was, like, nothing else to do, because they're like, I don't want to work this job. But a lot of them were just lazy. They were just lazy. I don't want to be that stereotype. But, like, you know, like, sometimes it's just people like that. They want the easy way. But there always will be people that want the easy way out. But like I said, there's a lot of people in this new gen that are like they're so smart. They're doing way more than what I did back when I was like 18. I wasn't thinking the way that like they are, but I think they have to. I think you have to nowadays, because if you're not starting young sometimes, like I feel like you're at a bit of a disadvantage, more or less. Not saying you can't get your shit out, you know, like get your shit together and get out and a little bit older, but like I feel like sometimes you kind of have to. You have to, especially nowadays. If you want to be in a solid spot at like in your mid-20s, like that's what you kind of have to do nowadays. But you know, we also live in a time now where like we can do shit like this. People, like the amount of people that I know that this is their full-time gig blows my mind. That wasn't a thing back in the day. So sometimes these boomers be saying like, hey, just get like the OG jobs and everything. And yes, I am all for working physical jobs and everything. Like I said, I was active for like 6 years. So I know how it is to fucking actually like, you know, move around and doing shit. So don't be saying no Air Force sitting down shit. I was an engineer and I didn't get a chance to do that. But it's just like, there's so many ways to make money. It's just being able to get people on the right track and also motivated. Because so many people are just not motivated nowadays. You know how many like youngsters that they just give up already. They're at like 17 or 18. They're just like, fuck it. But like, it's real hard to look at like the world sometimes to be like, hey, like I can flourish here. Back in the day, you used to be able to. The sky's the limit. And you still can, but goddamn does it look very, very, very like foggy. It's very foggy.
Because they think things are so cooked that it's not worth even trying. And our generation also definitely doesn't handle confrontations well. But what they're 100% wrong on is the old system laid out for success. Like
exactly.
In their time period, the things they're advocating.
I haven't watched this yet, Chad. I haven't watched this yet. But listen, preach.
For yes, you could go to college, come out with your degree, and be guaranteed a nice, cozy office job with benefits 90% of the time. But nowadays, you gotta be Spartan fighting with your peers on LinkedIn just to be able to apply for a job.
I fucking hated that. The amount of shit that I did when I left active duty, like I applied everywhere. I think I was working at like Target for a little bit. Just to get something. But like I bring up the LinkedIn stuff because like I think my profile's still on there even though I don't actually even use it. I get emails sometimes saying like, hey, this job's open. I need to close that.
Levels of backstabbing.
I said, I'm 21 years old and this shit is honestly looking bleak. It is, but at the same time, keep fucking pushing. Keep fucking pushing. I promise. Keep pushing. You will get it.
There is the aspect of some parents do truly want the best for their kids and they think that's the way they should go about it. But then there's this other toxic aspect of they don't even want to listen and still think their system is 100% foolproof. And they'll never.
I hate that.
It's less about their kids graduating.
I grew up like that, and I think a lot of us have, right? Like, if you would have told me, again, back in the day, that this was a actual job where someone could play games, talk about shit, etc., I would have laughed. My mom would laugh. My papa would, because that wasn't a thing. However, times change, and there are many, 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 many ways to get your money. At the same time, when somebody denies something, like such as like something like that, educate yourself. Especially if you have a kid that is interested in something. I'm a firm believer of supporting your kids with what they want to do. However, my big thing is this is like, hey, you better follow through with it. Like, I will be like, all right, I'll help you. However, if you start like bitching out on me, you better do something that actually is going to guarantee give you something. So listen, I will support you, but don't bitch out. Go all in. I just don't like quitters. I don't like quitters. Not in my fucking family. And here's the thing. You can't be a quitter or else you actually are a quitter. And then you're homeless. I've been there. I've been there.
Times for their ego. They be wanting to flex to everybody what school their kid is going to and how good they're doing in school. And a lot of those
I hate that shit. First off, let me just say this. Oh, actually, I think my trackers are fucking dying. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, this React is fucked. Please hold. My puck said, nah, bitch, you ain't getting nothing from me today. Well, hold on one sec. Let me get this last one. Well, I hope you guys are having a good one. So, hey, my YouTube people, I hope you guys are liking the brand new model minus the breaking. Like I said, we've been on for 7 days. Everything's breaking. So, you know, it's a work in fucking progress. So leave me alone. Just know after this one, chat, I need to go and charge my shed.
More and more people of our generation are realizing that, which I think has been a good thing. There is nobody out there who took that risk for something and it failed that say they regret taking the risk. Unless if, I don't know, maybe you try to rob a bank with your homies and you got arrested and got 20 years. Because
exactly. I will say one thing is that I preach all the time about like, you know, taking your risks, living life, doing what you can to like, you know, see your dream fucking through. However, it is riskier to take risks. So it's like, I'm well aware that it is tough. That's why like, good example. So like with what we do here, this was a risk. This was something I had no idea how like to do, and I still don't. However, my big thing was that I kept my job still. I still have my job because I just don't trust any of this shit. I don't trust anything. But that's how I was raised. It's like, hey, make sure you have a backup plan. So yes, take risks, but make sure that you have a plan B. And if you don't have a plan B, find a plan B. Because here's the thing, if it all goes down to the shitter, what are you going to do? If you have family that will help you, lucky. I didn't growing up. I didn't. So, but with that being said though, even if you do, having a plan B and not being a leech too is also really good. That's just true. At the same time, living with your family doesn't mean that you're a leech. Actually, if anything, a lot of people do now. I mean, I'm with my mom right now.
I'm not one of those that says college is useless all the time and you should become a drop shipper on TikTok and be eternally sent to...
And then you do the dive for 4 minutes and stuck in there. That is so funny. I love that. Here, let me grab something. Thanks for being here. By the way, if anyone doesn't know, we're like on our last 2 days of like the marathon. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. And if you guys get a chance to see this for my YouTube people, you still got time to come hang out with us. We are back. We are back from hiatus after being gone for what, like a month and some change. So it has been good. I am so happy to be back. Like, it's so good to see everyone here. So thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you.
Posting ads like this for people to buy.
Mustard or ketchup?
But something the older
Mustard!
generations don't acknowledge is the amount of ways you can earn money nowadays. Everyone knows there's like a million ways.
I promise you I haven't pre-watched this. Listen, this is how it's, listen, that's how you have to think now. This is how you have to think.
Ways you can make money online. Half of Gen Z is also Uber drivers and Door Dashers instead of even having a traditional job, which you can have pretty much zero.
I will say one
education
thing.
in.
Me and
Some of these
DoorDash,
people
we
are
have a
high school
very
dropouts
healthy relationship, by the way. Very healthy relationship.
to make more doing those jobs than a college grad. Don't drop out of high school though.
Yeah.
Very much stay your ass in school until you graduate. But my
Exactly.
point
Get
is, college
your
is no
GED.
longer end all be all for your life. A lot of our generation will sacrifice our passions and just to do it. But even if you do have the ideal
I will say
scenario,
sometimes, at least for certain times, not saying you have to give up on them, but sometimes you got to put them on fucking hold. I know for me, for 6 years when I was still like married and everything, like I kind of just gave up on all that. Well, like, you know, like I had my family, I had the kids, so it was hard. Like, you know, it's hard to keep some of that shit going. However, unless it's for like a financial thing, I would still keep them. Keep them. Gives you something to wake up to. And hopefully, I pray, Chad, I pray for you. If you ever decide to find a partner, which you probably won't because we don't date here. Virgins unite, baby. Make sure that you find somebody that like supports what you're doing. You know, if you can't find somebody that fucks with you, then don't fuck with them. Because you're going to waste time. You're going to waste 6 years. You're going to waste 6 years.
Things to go. It's not like it matters because your ass will probably never ever be able to get a house. It's
Is that a thing?
Seeing the contrast.
I have heard that people in California have to like spend a fuck ton of money for like pieces of shit. I actually not live in California, but like I'm wondering, like how bad is it for y'all? How bad is it for you guys? I gotta know. You say it's pretty bad, isn't it? I know, literally millions of dollars for a crack house. Hey, but listen, at least it's a house. At least it's a house. Yeah, you know, someone did some meth here, but like, don't we all? Like, come on now. Don't be a bitch.
Between how much you made back then and how much a house costed, you could deadass work for 2 years with a fully saved up salary and buy a house in full. Gen Z and millennials had the worst time in growing up in the housing market. Because imagine not only having houses
and I feel bad
in the span of 2 years because of
it's
COVID,
bad.
but also
It's bad.
having to balance that
Gen
with the
Z,
cost of
millennials, like we're struggling. We're struggling out there. Again, I talk a lot of bad because I'm like, yeah, it is definitely very rough. Like a lot, like I haven't heard one person ever, not in my chat, not in real life, not in IRL land, where like someone's like, oh yeah, I got this house for nothing. I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, like pretty much it's one of those things like how many dicks you gotta suck to get this fucking house? You gotta get them like the full income for 10 years and then also suck like fucking 20 dicks. It's like, come on now. Like you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. Like, it'd be rough out there, Chad. It's rough out there.
By the way, the
Not
world is
impossible,
still
but
not
rough.
financially stable after COVID, so getting a house isn't even a question for people.
True.
Surviving. Which is
Yeah,
why most
listen,
people are
COVID
choosing
fucked
rent.
us.
At least it's more reliable
COVID
than
fucked us.
potentially having to
Buy
go
a haunted house?
bankrupt over missing
True.
your mortgage payments. People have also been speculating that the new houses being built every year are becoming weaker and weaker. Like,
They
there's
are.
videos of construction
They
workers.
are. Like, and it's not just houses. It's just equipment, phones. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, you know, one thing I will say about the boomer generation is that those things were built to last. Like, good example. So OG HVAC systems, like from, I want to say like maybe like the 2000s, I want to say. Jay might know if Jay's here. They're like, they used to be like, what, like 14, 15 years before they finally start like actually seeing issues. But also that was the refrigerant too. The refrigerant for it was like good. But like, again, that's just HVAC. But like overall, like things lasted. Your phone actually is like the moment that you start it, before you do your first update, is dying quickly, by the way. Because they want you to buy the new iPhone 25,000. That's what they want. That's what they want. It's built to fucking break. It's built to break, and I hate that shit. You can't even do that. Like, it's the same thing with like pretty much everything. Your tools, your house. Like, again, like I have like a lot of like trackers and like stuff here. Like, I know damn well, because of how expensive some of this shit is, it's meant to break. That's probably why things are breaking. That's probably why things are breaking. They're probably like, well, you used it for 5 hours, so even though you should be using it for more and it costs $1,000, I'm gonna want you to go ahead and buy like another one. Actually, better yet, buy 4 just in case. It's like just in case. And by the way, that house, forget about it. Forget about
How
it.
badly some of the houses are actually built, and it's insane.
See all these $200,000, $400,000 houses? Hell, here's one. There's one. All right. I want to show you what these bitches are made out of.
Pretty bad. You could probably go pop
see
a hole
that?
in it, made out of paper.
Better. Okay. There's this. Ain't shit to it. I want y'all's goddamn homes built out of fucking.
To all your goddamn homes.
200 G's. 200 G's.
I love the way he fucking talks. I used to live down in the south when I was like, I think it was one of my very first base. Oh yeah, that's right. It was down no. I did live in Texas. I did in Texas and Louisiana for a little bit. And let me tell you, I love that southern accent. I don't know how to do it very well, but listen, I want to try. I love it. I love it, baby. I love accents though.
If I could throw a Hail Mary through the wall of my house and it makes a hole, I know that getting wiped.
Exactly. I was just looking at it like, what the fuck? That's like throwing a baseball at it. You could probably throw a baseball and like get a fucking hole in it. And you're like, wait a minute. Last I checked, you weren't made out of fucking paper. You were made out of paper and glass. Sometimes you have kids accidentally throw like a ball in through like a window, but not through like the side of the house and it breaks. Like, that's how it is now. It's made out of paper mache. It's made out of paper mache. Promise.
But even if you could afford it, that's what you're dealing with. Which is why a lot
They ain't a
of people
brick,
are
mortar,
advocating
or
for
solid
people to buy
wood.
older houses because
True,
they say they're more
true,
reliable.
Kev,
That
true.
American dream of buying a new spanking house after working hard is dead, though. Like I'm not
It
buying
is.
a Toronto house. And you'll be
It's
lucky if you
sad.
can
It's
even find a
sad
job
because, you know, like, I am a positive person, but I'm also like, you know, I'm optimistic, but also like I'm a realist. Like, I understand that shit can be really fucking, you know, I don't want to just roll over and just be like, well, it is what it is. But at the same time, though, I like to pray that the American dream still sometimes is out there. We just have to work times 2 harder. Does it suck? Yeah, but what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do?
Gen Z nowadays. The job market is so cooked for so many people of our generation is crazy. You'll hear countless
Is it true?
stories of people applying to like 100 jobs and getting 1 response
This
back,
is true.
maybe. And it's only ramped
And
up
you know what?
because of COVID.
You want to know why? Okay, listen. You want to know why? Sorry, I'm losing my fucking voice. I'm breaking trackers, losing voice. Chef's kiss react. Like, comment, and subscribe. But it's coming from somebody that used to hire a lot. And it's so funny because we're getting rid of like illegal immigrants now. But like this might have just been my company, but Just saying, it probably isn't. But a lot of the times we would, they would want us to look for people that were like illegals so that we can go and get them for cheaper. Isn't that shitty? Not even supporting our own fucking people. But here's the thing though. Here's the fucking thing. I think that like companies like that should get in trouble for that. Not the people, but the fucking company. There's a reason why my boss wanted that, is because it was cheaper. It's so shitty. It's so fucking shitty. I'm a big time like support. I mean, like I said, I was military. So like, I'm a big time supporter of being able to support our fellow Americans. Our fellow Americans. So like, you know, and I just think to myself like, hey, if they're fucking up and breaking the rules, then I think that they should get in trouble for that. They call those fines. Fines. Eventually, if you find somebody enough, maybe they'll stop. Unless you're really rolling like that. And I don't think anyone's rolling like that inside of this economy. In this economy, no way. No shot. No
Coming
shot.
from someone who hasn't had a traditional job in years, I remember in like 2019 when I was in high school applying to a bunch and getting denied. But after about a
Wait,
week,
hold
I
on.
managed to work in this pizza
Kev.
place
I'm
and get hired.
reading your message. So, let me tell you what happened with my company when there was an audit. We fired everybody. And then when it was over, we fucking rehired everybody again. That's how they get behind that system. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Fired everybody. Made sure that everyone was gone. Got a couple people that were like Americans again. And then after that, like brought them back in. Like that's how scummy companies can be. And like I said, I was trying to keep my job because here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. I'm not perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. But like, I gotta work. I had to work. I had to do stuff. And I was thinking to myself, like, I gotta like do something. I remember trying to talk to somebody about this. Like, I remember my ex-wife was trying to say like, oh, you might be able to talk to this person, go like anonymous. And I remember trying to do that. And guess what happened? Denied, in the sense of like, pretty much kept me like ghosted. It was ghosted. So even if you want to do the right thing, like sometimes it's hard. It's hard. It's the system, baby. It's the system. It sucks. It sucks. That's why I like this is why I like streaming. Because like, yes, a lot of times a lot of people don't like Twitch, and sometimes there's some things I don't like about Twitch either. However, harder I work, the harder that I do things, I get fucking rewarded for that. And I like to do things the right way. Or at least I try to. At least I fucking try and listen. Maybe we should do things the wrong way. I wonder if I can start drama with someone. Maybe we can just, like, either that or I shake my tits somewhere. What do you think? Listen, I gotta hit those markets. I gotta fucking hit those markets. Times are tough. Times are tough.
Internships are requiring them to have
Times are
experience
tough.
too. Like am I an intern or an employee? You mean I need experience? But there may just be one beacon of hope for Gen Z. Hustlers University. Nah, I'm just kidding. Over the next 20 years, Gen Z and millennials are supposed to have the biggest wealth transfer of all time. It's estimated that $84 trillion of assets are going to be passed down from the older generations to us. And that's accounting everybody 40 and below. According to the new updated terms of being UNC status by the internet, though, if you're over the age of 20 years old now, you're too old
I have been using...
Okay. Does have assets they could actually...
I have been using the word unk lately. I don't know why. It's like, yo, unk, what's up? Little bro, how you doing? I am convinced that this area is like the retirement home. Most people here are like 25 plus. Listen, I like to say I'm the oldest, but I'm not, which is unfortunate. Listen, leave. This is mine.
But if they're still paying for that, yeah, you better run away or you're gonna have to take over them mortgage payments. Or if your family even likes you for real, they could just spend their last money on like some nice ass jewelry and die with the drip as a last.
And guess what? There is a lot of people that fucking do that. Some people are fucking shitty. A lot of the times it's your own family. Not always. But like I've noticed there's a lot of times where like some people are just kind of just screwed. It kind of just screwed when it comes to that. That's why, like, when I was telling you guys a whole, like, if you do have a family that actually gives a fuck about you, like, okay, and let me just say this. So, like, my family does now. However, it took me 10 years. Actually, 12. Actually, it's more like 12, actually. Like, for me to actually talk with them again, and, like, you know, I love them. And, like, I think it was, like, right after the divorce where I started, like, talking with my family again, and just, like, you know, just a lot of shit there where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot again. And, you know, families change. Mine did. I've changed a lot. I had to grow up a lot too. It wasn't just me. But the point I'm trying to make is like, if you do have a family or you have people to support, good. Don't take advantage of that. Because a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us do not have that. So like, it's just kind of one of those things where if you do, then try to help assist them around the house, money, like build up. If they're giving you like a discount for like rent and stuff like that, save your fucking money. Save your fucking money. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
A lot of this really won't matter though, because since everything is still going up, that money's probably going to be worth 1/3 of what it should actually be.
Exactly.
Worth. Think about all
it's going to be one of those things because like we were talking about video games earlier, and video games now are like $80 to $90 now. And you know, if one company does it, everybody's going to do it. So it's pretty shitty. So like, even if you think you got something, sometimes you don't. But like, I think to myself though, even though it sounds rough, because I feel like every little thing that we have gone over, it's just like, hey, the world fucking sucks and there's no hope. But like, there really is. There is. You just got to find ways around it, you know? We were talking about, or well, he was talking about it earlier, but like, there's so many ways to make money now that like, you can, like, you get your hustle, baby. Like, I mean, with what I do now, like, I could live off that if I really wanted to. However, I like my job. I like my job. It's family business, and also it's like my little backup. That's my backup, just in case. But like, you know, technically speaking, you really can. It's pretty cool.
We know the politicians will sell us out with a couple of donos on the table, and the companies
True
can
and
keep
real.
doing it as long as it's like that. The only way this
Exactly.
changes is when those older generations die off and the younger.
That's what I just said. They got, listen, not pre-watched, not fucking pre-watched, promise. But they got to get out of them. They got to get out of the office. They got to get out of the office. Just saying. And another thing, for my military people, put somebody in there that knows that opiates are not good. They're not good. Stop giving them to my brothers and sisters. I'm just saying. Then they get addicted. Let them smoke marijuana. Promise you. I know they won't because of big fucking farm, but come on now. Put someone in that understands. Not these old fucks.
Definitely happen for sure. Because we're the most caring
No,
generation.
you're pre-watched.
We always listen to each other with open minds. We'll have like 5 solid years before we bankrupt the world. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up.
I was
don't
about to say,
wanna
I'm
give
like,
everybody
I've met some,
newer
listen, I met some
mindset,
greedy
you know,
people.
Like, there is still hope for things. Things
Thank
have
you.
already changed with time
Pre-watched.
compared to the past. Like, we've gotten way better at a lot of stuff. So don't worry, everyone. Have hope. We got Elon Musk running around with the chainsaw in the White House. Surely he'll do something. Follow me on Twitter,
Exactly.
Instagram,
Fuck 'em up,
and
baby.
TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And
My
until next
hand
time,
likes you too, apparently.
I'm out.
Oh, that sounds awful, actually. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Let me explain that one. So my puck, anytime I get close to my fucking monitor, fucking goes. You know what? Never mind. Go and check out Tommy. I like his videos. I found his. I think it was the Kanye West live video. It was really good. I like his style. I like when someone can be like educational, but also like kind of funny too. You know. Now, don't get me wrong. I can watch document, baby. I can watch a documentary like fucking like it's nothing. Like fucking what is his name? Turkey Tom does like a lot of good fucking shit too. He does long ass like essays. But I like him. I like it. Listen, I've learned a lot from him. But anyway, really good fucking video. I like this one. Listen, Tommy just killing it out there. You know who's not killing it out there? My fucking trackers. Hold on one second. Hold on. There it is. I'm spamming in my own chat. Make sure, listen, like, sub, it really good fucking video. And like, again, he brought up a good fucking point. Is like, it sounds like it's all doom and gloom. And you know, sometimes it do be looking like that. But there's always a way to get out of that fucking slump. There really is. There really is. And we have never had more of an opportunity, especially nowadays, to be able to make money. Like I said, somebody can be an artist now, like just like, you know, a decent artist. You don't have to be like, you know, what is his name? Wait, is it Leonardo da Vinci? Leonardo da Vinci, yes. And you have to be just like selling the fucking like the Mona Lisa. You don't got to be doing that. Or you don't have to be like the best like guitarist and have a band and be like super famous. You can just play music and get money. It's all about learning how to market your fucking skills. Now, learning how to market your fucking skills and just in general, I feel like getting some life experience. Like, I can't say this enough, but the amount of streamers that I've met that like have never even had any job outside of what they're trying to do now. Not saying that you need to, but like it really does help. It really does help. Being able to understand that the world fucking is gonna fuck you in the ass, like, you know, fucked a little bit like that. It's a really good learning experience. It's a really good learning experience. Trust me. Out of fucking pain and shit, you learn, baby. You learn. Anyway, great fucking video. I love this one. Very, very, very good.